Welcome to 10 Questions With, our little initiative to get to know some of the members in the Drought Ready network. How are you today?
I'm fabulous.
That's not one of your questions, but we'll dive right in. I know where you're not today where you're normally based. So where are you normally based and where are you today?
I'm normally based in the Darling Downs, Toowoomba, and today I'm in Adelaide. Sorry, I had to work out where I am because I've been to border town, I've been to Coonawarra looking after my clients in South Australia the last week. I've got another week here, so yes.
Well, I'm going to jump question. What do you do for a crust? What's taking you all around South Australia at the moment?
I'm a food and product photographer, and I haven't been to South Australia, and I went, I know I'm a foodie and I've never been, so I went, right. So I have quite a few clients down this way, and said, right, I'm coming down for 2 weeks. I have 3 spots available. You want me? Book me in, and yeah, so that's what's taken me around. So yes.
That sounds like a fantastic career. And can I just say, and this is going to be controversial in a group full of people from every state and territory in the Drought Ready network, but I reckon South Australia is the food capital of Australia. Oh,
No.
I can't have you say they've got clients everywhere. Tell me about the Darling Downs, Toowoomba, where you're based. What makes the area special and what's it famous for?
To me, the Darling Downs is the food bowl. Like you've got Granite Belt, you've got South Burnett. So we have a huge range of food, local producers, cattle, grapes, just about everything grows in Toowoomba, which is amazing. So that's what I'm passionate about, is the food and how we can support our farmers and really tell those stories of the food and honour it. So yeah.
What inspired you to be part of the storytelling between producer and consumer?
Well, I've always grown up around food. Like we've always had veggie gardens. My nana always made the most amazing food. Mum's always grown her own. And so whenever we have moved or had new houses, the first thing we do is set up a veggie garden. So it's been sort of part of my life where the actual origin of your food and then sitting down and as a family or as a group of people and sharing that food, I think is really important. In our fast-paced world, we've sometimes lost the connection with where food comes from. And I think it's something that is dear to me, because when you go and collect that food from the farmer, and you have those conversations, and then you bring it home, and as a family, even if it's just mum and daughter or whatever, we create something with it, then we sit down at the table and we have those conversations. It's the conversations that sometimes we don't have in our busy lives that we miss. So if we can get back to the food and how we connect through food, I think there's a lot more opportunity to solve problems. So yeah, let's just all have a big long lunch and the whole world problems will be solved. It's all good.
That'll be fabulous. I wish we were doing this over some food right now, but unfortunately, tyranny of distance. For advice for others in our group who are launching a new initiative or they're getting involved in something they're passionate about in regional Australia or in their communities, what did you do correctly to turn your idea into action, or what were some of the positive first steps that got it off the ground?
So the project that I'd have in mind that I'm thinking of is called the Soup Box. So in Toowoomba, each year now, it'll be its 3rd year this year. The Soup Box is about, again, supporting the farmers at our local market, one of the best markets in our region, the Toowoomba Farmer Market, where you can go and get all the fresh produce directly from the farmers and the producers. And then this initiative is about the community and businesses being able to donate some of that produce back into these boxes that go to our vulnerable, so our homeless, especially during July and August. So what I loved about it was done under the banner of the Chamber, but it also brought a whole range of other businesses together. So it wasn't just one body that owned the initiative. Yes, it was my idea, but by collaborating and not owning it, it's enabled others to come in and be part of that project. And the beautiful thing about it was yes, the cost of living has gone up, but everyone in our community wants to help. And it's the little bits that we do, not always the big things, but someone may only be able to give a head of broccoli, where others can give a box of tomatoes, you know, but combined as a community, we each have a part to play. And therefore, everyone's getting fed, right? Those that are vulnerable are getting nutritious meals, which obviously means that they're not going to be as, their immune systems are going to be boosted. And it just helps those people feel as though they're contributing to a bigger problem that sometimes, you know how sometimes a problem is just so big, we don't know how to do it. We don't know how to fix it. We can't fix it. But this is just our little way that we can help make someone else's day a little bit easier and just know that it's a bit of a difference.
Where's that initiative up to today?
So we're starting up again in July again this year. So I've already started putting it out there. So Chamber, other businesses like Little Pig Consulting, ARLE have been amazing. They donated a whole marquee, all the marketing material, the core flutes, the labels, everything. The farmers are just fantastic. They keep trying to give us their produce. I'm like, no, stop. We need to buy it off you so that we're supporting you and your family, and then we can give, right? So it's like, they're so generous, and that's it's really heartwarming. What I personally learned out of it was sometimes you just have to ask the businesses, what do you want to do? How can I invite you to be part of it? And not set the boundaries, allow the businesses to actually go, I want to give a whole marquee and all the marketing. Instead of, I actually initially thought, oh, can you just do some stickers for us? You know, because I didn't want to burden them with that task. I thought, oh, I'm asking them to do a lot. Don't make those decisions for other people. Let the people make the decisions and come forward. And I think that was a huge learning for myself. And it was very humbling because you just feel like, wow, you are giving so much and they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. Like they don't expect anything back. They're just doing it because they know it's the right thing. And I think that is a beautiful thing when the community owns a project and they're not told or constrained and they're told there's a $5,000 sponsorship thing here and this and this and this, right? It's allow that fluidness to flow and it just becomes a beautiful, beautiful project. Yeah.
Kat, that is such great advice and so inspiring. What are some of the measurable milestones that you're proud of as part of that initiative?
The various, even though it was a Toowoomba Chamber initiative under the Food and Agri Network, which I was an advisor of, it didn't mean that only chamber members were represented. So by all means, because the stand has to be run by volunteers. So I just opened it up to all other businesses to go, if you want to come and be part of this for 2 hours shift, by all means, wear your shirt, wear your, wear your hats, promote that your business is actually being part of this initiative. So then it helps that business too to feel good and be seen as part of the community, because a lot of small businesses don't have funds to do these big sponsorships and all these things. But time is probably one of our most precious commodities because you can't get it back. So by them being able to give 2 hours of their time, maybe 1 weekend, 2 weekends, it means that they're part of it, which is good because then those people that are on the stand, they get to talk, there's networking, more connections. So it's about those little threads of our network that just continuously grow and the ripples of change just continue to grow. I love ripples because you never know where they're going to just keep going and going and going, right? So big milestone was in the first year, we managed to donate over, in terms of value, about $12,000 worth of fresh produce to the soup box, base services, who feed the hungry lunch every day, 5 days a week. And what the beautiful thing about that is they also do about 15 trainees. So the trainees actually got a lot of fresh produce, unusual produce to play with, which meant they didn't have just the same boring meals that they were being trained. And I got to meet some of those apprentice, they were doing the Circ 4, I think, in hospitality. And some of those people have now go on to find homes, to find employment. So that's actually broken the cycle. So if we can break the cycle of some of those people, that's a huge win, so yeah.
Kat, it's almost a redundant question number 9, which is, has this grown beyond your expectations?
I want it more. It's more. I don't want it just in Toowoomba. I've been trying to find ways to just replicate this in other communities. And I'm not saying that this is not happening in other communities, but how can I make the soup box in every producing community that has a farmers market that can actually do this, work with the other businesses, work with the chambers and councils to actually create change within their community. And literally, there's no money really being spent besides buying from the farmers, right? To buy the produce to then give. So it's not like a huge expense, the markets are donating that stall space for that month. So yes, they are, that's their contribution. Businesses are giving their time and all that, but it's just a beautiful way for everyone to do their part. So yes, if you know anyone that can help me, just cookie cutter this, please. I'll be in it. Let's go.
Well, there's over 1,000 people in the Drought Ready network who are already movers and shakers in their community. So I reckon we're off to a good start. Final question for you, Kat, is can you think of a resource you wish others knew about that's helped you along the way?
Actually, that's one of the questions that would be really, really hard. A resource. Actually, to be honest, it is the Drought Ready community. Like before this, and before the experience I had on the ARLF, the short thing there, the short course that I managed to be part of, it was inspirational and it was a catalyst for everything else, right? It gave me confidence that I had a voice in my community. I didn't have to be a big someone. I didn't have to become part of council. I didn't have to, it was okay to be who I am and have a voice of what I believe in and stand up for it and just stick to my guns. So I think being able to continue the development of your own learning and finding out what type of leader you are in your community, I think is really important.
Kat, thanks for joining 10 Questions With, and I hope you get lots of inquiries from this about people taking your initiative to their towns.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.